Well, well, well. Cheers, everybody. Long time no see. How have y'all been? It was a wild year. A wild year. Haven't played Magic but maybe 3 times in a year. Last year was wild. Clearly I'm not in the same house anymore. Bought another place. Finished remodeling the old place. Got it rented out, so that's one less gray hair for me. I'll drink to that. So here we are, new place, playing Magic in the basement like Richard Garfield intended. I said to myself, what's the way to ring in the new year? What's the deck I want to make? It's Aclazotz. It's discard. Because you know what? Fuck it, that's why. Ain't no such thing as halfway crooks. Sometimes we get caught up in our feelings playing Magic nowadays. No. There needs to be a fuck around and find out button. You play stupid cards, you're gonna get eliminated first, and that's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping to get this game rolling. I'm not trying to play a 3-hour game where everyone's just looking at each other like they hate each other in the game. I'm gonna play a quick game. Get in, get out, play 5-6 games instead of playing 1 or 2 long, boring, tedious, dry hand job of a game. So yeah, new place, new year. Last year was wild, trials and tribulations, lost some loved ones. You know, whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger. So here we are, back again. Have my boy Chris out here from Boston during Magic Fest in Chicago. Came to the restaurant, had a great time, and good to see him. Good to meet him in real life. Good to meet a lot of Magic players. My restaurant is right near the convention center, so I had a lot of nice conversations with people during the whole weekend. I couldn't play, but here we go. You know, truth be told, I've been playing a lot of board games with my friends. I just bought Frosthaven, so that's a commitment. And I got burned out with Magic. You know, how excited can you be if there's new cards coming out every 3 days? You know, I'm looking at commanders from Warhammer. From Warhammer, and they're old now. I'm looking at commanders from sets that I think are still new, but there's like 3 or 4 sets that are already out that eclipse these cards. So, I don't know, got a little burned out. Had a wild year, but we're back. My friend of mine is going to start helping me edit videos, so that's cool. Let's get some games in. So that's it. You know, thank you guys for sticking around. I firmly thought that I'd lose every single subscriber since I haven't made a video in 8 months, but we're back. We actually never went anywhere, but you know, life is life. So cheers, guys. Thank you. Like, I'm subscribed here to Deck Tech. Aclazotz discard. Peace. All right, so here we go. Aclazotz, Deepest Betrayal, 3 colorless, double black for a legendary creature, Bat God, has flying and lifelink. It's 4/4. Whenever Aclazotz attacks, each opponent discards a card for each opponent that can't. Draw a card, and whenever an opponent discards a land card, create a 1/1 black bat creature token with flying. And when it dies, you transform it into Temple of the Dead, and that is a land that can tap for black mana or tap 2 colorless and 1 black, and the land, transform it back into the Bat God. Play this only if a player has 1 or fewer cards and at sorcery speed. So what's this deck gonna do? Hopefully draw some cards. Gonna make your friends discard cards. Gonna make some bats, and so yeah, we'll see how this works. We got 24 swamps of miscellaneous printing for the basic lands, and we got Makokoro. You're gonna say to yourself, Kevin, why do you want everyone to draw a card? Well, hopefully, it's not gonna make a difference. If I can get people down to 1 card in hand at the end of the person before my turn, I can attack with Aclazotz and then make them discard said card. So screw them. Mirror Pool, because I'm gonna want to copy some creatures maybe, and then there's some spells that if I copy that'd be even better. Nykthos, cause good old Lake of the Dead. Cryptovagabond, if I'm going to be discarding creatures, why the hell would I not want to tap for black mana? Reliquary Tower. Urborg Tomb of Yawgmoth. Cabal Stronghold. Ebon Stronghold. Strip Mine, because fuck your fancy lands. And a Portuguese Cabal Coffers. So that rounds out the land package. I have not
sleeve this deck yet, so here we go, coming in raw with my fingers crossed. This deck is extremely light on removal. 3 removal cards. Terror Tide, Feed the Swarm, and Go for the Throat. That's all the removal I got, because why the hell not? Here's some cards that I'm a little bit unsure of. I mean, they're gonna work, but we got Deadly Dispute, Reckoner's Bargain, Village Rites, and Corrupted Conviction. All 3 of these cards say sacrifice a creature and draw cards. And I'm using this on the premise that I'm going to make tokens, and also because I have a bunch of these stupid cards that ETB and make people discard cards, like Nezumi Informant, Virus Beetle, Elder Fang Disciple, Liliana Spectre, Burglar Rats, and more rats, Rotting Rats. So all of these cards just ETB and make people discard cards, and after that they're just on the table. So hopefully those cards that say sacrifice a creature and draw cards will come into play. Also Clamp, obviously, and also have Ashnod's Altar, so those cards can be more effective. Here comes the regular goons. These are most of the specters. Side Spectre, Abyssal Spectre, Urghost, empty one. Again, he has the added benefit of being able to draw cards if your opponents are out of cards when he hits. Hippie, Gul'daz Spectre. Again, it's a 2/2. Hits, make people discard if no one has, and if someone doesn't have any cards in hand, it's a 5/5 beater. Why not? Oh, and then we got Stronghold Rats, Shadow, discard. Fell Spectre, gonna be making people lose life. Braids, Arisen Nightmare. Again, theoretically I'll have things to sacrifice, so it'll either be make my opponents to sacrifice creature or let me draw cards and drain them a little bit. Raven Man, making birds and making people discard. Junji, same thing, making people discard when it dies. Herald of Anguish, gonna be making people discard at my end step. Little Tiny Bones. I wanted to make Tiny Bones when I first saw Tiny Bones spoiled, however many years ago that was, because it's kind of cool. But the same thing, when people discard cards, I get to draw a card, and then if no one has any cards in hand, or at least one opponent, I can make them lose 10 life. Rankle, because why the hell would I not want Rankle in there, just making my friends dislike me even more. Archon of Cruelty, the only saving grace about this card is that it costs so much. Sadistic Hypnotist, making people discard. Bone Miser, making it not so horrible when I discard cards. Haunt of Hightower, shocking discard. Liliana, Heretical Healer, when she transforms into what is this? Liliana, Defiant Necromancer, making people discard. Archfiend of Ifnir, handing out the -1/-1 counters. Cunning Letromancer, making people discard. Again, I'll have all these little cards that, you know, tokens, and hopefully those stupid cards that have a 1 use. Then I'm gonna cast Ayara, gonna drain people, and hopefully sacrifice them for cards. Now here's the section of cards that I think I have way too many of. It is sorcery-based discard. We got Delirium Streaks, making everybody discard 3 cards. Tassiger's Cruelty, making my opponents discard 2 cards. Ayardal Flow, making my opponents discard cards. Rankle's Prake, making everyone discard cards, and some other things. Mind Rake, again, if I'm not gonna cast this for a single use, I'm gonna use it for the overload. Unnerve, the good old-fashioned Mind Twist. Siphon Mind, which is pseudo card draw. And Frang Omnipotence, which is going to be cool because it's going to make people discard cards, and it's going to make them lose life, and then hopefully bring them down closer to a manageable life total where some of my enchantments can finish the job. And speaking of which, here is some miscellaneous artifacts. We got Mirage Mirror, which I think is going to be a house in this deck because of cards that I'm going to show you in a minute. We got the Great Door, discarding cards, drawing cards, and then hopefully flipping over. I'm going to have a lot of permanents in there. And it's going to tap for manas. Guest Grimoire, where my opponents discard cards, I draw cards. Clamperoo, same thing with those single-use creatures and tokens. Bantu's Monument, little drainage, and then cost reduction. Armillary Sphere, Hedron Archive, Soul Ring, Arcane Signet, Ashnod's Altar, and to round out the Mana Rocks, Unstable Obelisk. And now here come my many enchantments. Actually, here's one more artifact. We got Wheel of Torture. Again, hopefully my opponents won't have cards in hand and they'll be taking damage. Now here come the enchantments. Good old-fashioned oppression. Whenever a player casts a spell, that player discards a card. These are kind of the same thing. We got Quest for the Nilstone and Shrieking Affliction. Basically, they say if you have... Well, Shrieking Affliction is marginally better if it says if opponent has one or fewer cards, they take 3 damage, or they lose 3 life, I should say. And then Quest for the Nilstone, they have to have 0 cards, and they lose 5 life. So hopefully we can get those going. Then we got, these are functionally the same card, Megrim and Liliana's Caress. Whenever an opponent discards a card, I guess it's slightly different because Megrim does damage, and Liliana's Caress is life loss, so, but functionally the same card. Then we got good old-fashioned Painful Quandary, Raider's Wake, Waste Not, and Court of Ambition. So there it is, everybody. Those are the cards in this miraculous deck. You know, it is what it is. Like I said, it's discard. It's gonna be fun for me, and if not, at least I'll die fast because everyone's gonna be sick of me. And so yeah, thanks guys for sticking around. Like, comment, subscribe, tell me what you think.